So we're looking now at quadrilaterals. Quad meaning four. So we're looking at shapes that have got four straight sides. Okay, they must have straight sides. And there's many different types of quadrilaterals. But the one common thing about all quadrilaterals is that all of their inside angles add up to 360 degrees. So if you add up all of their interior angles, so we sum them, if you like, they equal 360 degrees. So let's take a step through each one of these different types of quadrilaterals because they all have very different properties. You can see the first one there is a parallelogram. And so what does it say? It has two pairs of parallel lines. So this and this one are parallel and that is parallel to that one. Two pairs of equal length sides. So it's like a rectangle on its side, if you like, slanted over. Opposite angles are equal. So again, you can see that that angle is equal to that angle there, and that angle is equal to that angle there. Diagonals are not equal in length. That's pretty important, and you can even see that from the diagram. All right, let's move on to the rhombus. A rhombus is like a parallelogram. The only difference there is that you can see that it's actually a square rather than a rectangle. So all of the sides are of equal length. It still has two pairs of parallel lines. So that is parallel to that one is parallel to that one. And the other important thing about this is that they're diagonal. Remember, diagonal goes from one side to the other. So that's a diagonal there, and that's your other diagonal there. And those diagonals actually intersect at right angles. If we move on to the rectangle and the square, I think most of us have worked with them for many, many years, and we pretty much know a lot about rectangles. So as in all quadrilaterals, all of those inside angles are going to add up to 360 degrees. But also, what's actually happening here is that all of their angles are 90 degrees. And that's the same thing for a square. All of those angles are 90 degrees. Okay, it has, if we talk about go back to the rectangle, the top line, this one here and this one are the same length, and that one are the same length. Unlike a parallelogram, a rectangle has its diagonals being of exactly the same length, as does a square. So squares and rectangles fairly similar, other than a square has got all of its sides the same length, but a rectangle has got opposite sides being the same. A kite, or some people like to call it a diamond, has again some very interesting properties. So the first thing you can see with the kite is that its adjacent sides are equal. So this one and this one are equal, and this one and this one are equal. So they are adjacent sides. It has one pair of equal angles. So again, you can see the equal angles there, that one and the bottom. And the diagonals do intersect at right angles. Remember, right angles are 90 degrees. So let's see how we might be able to use some of this information. In this example, we're asked to find the unknown angle. Now you can see it's a quadrilateral, four straight sides. And we know what about quadrilaterals? Well, we know that all of the angles add up to 360. Now, we have two angles there, but in actual fact, we do have three because that one there is 90 degrees. So we know 90 plus 120 plus x plus 110 all equal to 360 degrees. So now if I want to get x by itself, I'm going to bring all of those over the other side and take them away. So 360, take away 90 degrees, take away 120 degrees, take away 110 degrees, and that leaves me with x equal to 40 degrees. Now, in this example, we're asked to find the value of the pronumerals. Again, it's a quadrilateral, and again, we know that all the angles add up to 360. But let's recognise this shape, and it is a parallelogram, okay? What do we know about the angles in a parallelogram? Well, we know that opposite angles are equal. So opposite angles, this one and this one, are equal. So Z is equal to 60 degrees. The other thing we know here is that x is equal to y, which means I could actually write this as what? X plus 60 plus, now instead of using y, I'm going to use x again, plus, and I know z now is 60, and altogether they add up to 360 degrees. So x plus x is 2x, 60 and 60 is 120. Okay, bring the 120 across, 2x is equal to 360, take away 120 is 240, and so divide by 2, x is equal to 120 degrees. So now x equals y, so 120 plus 120 plus 60 plus 60 should all add up to 360 degrees. Do we recognise the next shape as being a kite? Well, it is. So what do we know about a kite? Well, we know that it has one pair of equal angles. And so this angle here and this angle here are the same. So that must be 100 degrees as well. Now, because it's a kite, it's a quadrilateral, all the angles add up to 360. So let's put that together. We've got x plus 100 degrees plus 30 degrees plus 100 degrees is equal to 360. And so we have x plus 230 degrees is equal to 360. Bring the 230 across, so 360 take away 230, and what do you get left with is 130 degrees. Let's make sure that we do show some working out when we are doing these questions.